dragons, giants, and what the plain girl really saw. Oh my. Welcome to Soul Spy University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. Today, I'll be covering the most fascinating news they're not telling you. But first, please don't forget to like to support the truth I'm spreading to you, share to share the actual truth and interesting stories the news doesn't share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next exclusive story that we're hopefully still alive to tell you so far. Just a reminder, there is a donation in the description box. We put in a lot of work into this for you, and anything donated at all, if ever, touches my heart way more than you could ever know and helps me to know someone somewhere is listening. Also, a reminder, as of right now, I'm still alive and available, apparently, for a variety of services that I happen to have gifts and thus specialize in, that if you think can benefit you at all, please feel free to contact me. The list is also in the description box. Okay, so we have 3 different stories for you today that are going to surprise you a lot. You're not going to be the same after this podcast. Be sure to stay until the end. This is absolutely mind-blowing. So Tommy's going to start out with his story where dragons have been found, and that story is almost exclusive to this podcast because now the evidence is getting really covered up, as well as I have exclusive up to date on Andrew Dawson, which I'll give you a brief summary on again when it comes time for that. But he found a giant, then he was declared unalived by himself when he always said he would never do such a thing. And that's a whole other crazy thing. Make sure to check out my video on that. It goes into such detail. That's insane. As well as more evidence of giants and the truth behind the plain girl that I hope goes way beyond this podcast. Okay, Tommy, you have a story for us about dragons.
I do. So, everybody's like, hey, dragons. Everybody's always thought about it. You're dressed as a princess, so you should know.
Oh, yeah, guys, it's Halloween season. In case you're watching this 6 months from now, we have a different costume each segment of October for Halloween. So check out the Halloween It Up playlist. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry about that, Fox.
So, yes, and as I have become my heart, which is a fox. So,
Cool.
let's talk about dragons. Everybody's thought about it, and for the most part, people are like, oh, they're mythology, they're fake, yada yada. But the thing is, every single people in time have spoken of and written about dragons. And these are people that have not interacted with everyone else. We all know China, dragons are very, very prevalent there. And in 2017, I'm probably going to say this wrong, and I apologize, Shenzhen, China, they found a 60-foot long set of what they believe is a dragon bones. Christina, I send you a picture if you could bring that up.
Oh, yes. I got you. Okay,
So,
guys. Take a look at this as he speaks.
So yeah, it's very difficult to find that picture too. It took us some time. And as you can see, it has horns. So people are like, that's a horse. That's horse head, and they put the bones together. Nope, that is not a horse head. It has horns coming out of the top. That's what horse has a nose like that. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, it also had claws and a serpentine body. So I mean, it's insane. And dragons have been spoken about in all throughout history. In New Mexico, Italy, West Africa, England, all throughout history, there have been rumors and talks of dragons. There's even stories back in time of Saint John of Damascus, where him and his army were riding, and a dragon popped up behind them, and they attacked it and they fought it, killed it, and skinned it alive. Well, not alive, obviously. They skinned it and sent the remains back to Italy, back to Rome. Excuse me. So there's all stories throughout time about dragons. Germany, there's this place in Germany called Flans, and they have been like boasting for the 16th, 17th, and 18th century of being dragon hunters, and they would put the bones of their kills along the whole entire city to prove that dragons are real and that they have actually, in fact, killed them.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, it's like not too long ago. I mean, I don't know if they're saying it's a dinosaur, but they call it a sea dragon. They found, I believe it's a 180-foot long sea dragon in England, and they say, oh, it's a dinosaur. We lived there in the dinosaurs. Yeah, maybe, but here's the thing: these stories of dragons and dragon attacks have been going on way past the time of the dinosaurs, way past. And one of the most recent ones was back in the early 20th century, in the 1900s. Um, Van Meter's Van Meter, Iowa, was being attacked by a town. This little town was being attacked, being terrorized by a flying, what they called dragon. A flying dragon was screwing around with this town for a couple of days. They said it had giant bat-like wings, and it had a horn that um, would shine light.
What year?
The early 2000s, not 2000. I'm sorry, 20th century. So what is that? I'm bad at math. I think it's the early 1900s, maybe more. So it was probably like the 1800s to 1900s.
Or is that like, okay, okay. Wow. And
So
that's where?
Iowa.
Really? And did they say how big it was?
I don't believe so. They just said it was huge. It had bat-like wings. It had a horn that produced light, and it would go flying around at night, like just freaking making noise and all this other stuff. And then one day, during a storm, another one, like a smaller version of it, not like small, but like just a little bit smaller, showed up as well. And they think maybe it was like the child, or maybe it was the male and she was the female. Anyway, after a few days, they saw it. They fly into the mines because it's like, Van Meter was known for their massive mines that they dug, and it disappeared in the mines, and they couldn't find it.
Oh
But
my,
the whole town said they saw it. The whole entire town.
oh my God. Wow. And they
Yeah,
were
of
scared?
course. Yeah, it would just shriek at night. Like the light would peer, like pulse through its horn and wake everybody up, and like it would just freak everybody out.
Oh my God. And it was big, or you don't know?
There's a picture that I don't know if it's actually this thing or something else, but of this gigantic thing on top of a building.
Oh no, I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Anyway, let me Google this real quick. Ohio Dragon,
Van Meter, Ohio dragon.
Van Meter.
But it's crazy, man. It's like, yeah,
Oh,
this is,
oh, what it shows, guys.
oh, that's not, I didn't see any of that. What the heck?
Uh, well, it looks like what I thought, like a pterodactyl.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but what's with the horn that glows light?
Yeah, that's interesting. Because do dragons have one horn or?
I don't know. It's like they're described in all different ways.
Remember the Peter the dragon?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, I know that the wow, so that's compelling. That is compelling. I also have two other things about giants when you're ready. Yeah, but this is nuts.
I mean, yeah, it was like everybody's talked about dragons throughout time, and there's got to be no, but there's no reason. It's like a big reptile is not a dragon. They've all said the same thing. Like you've seen reptiles around the world, and the biggest one is what, the Komodo dragon that we know of. So they're not all over the place. So it makes you think maybe there was a thing. Maybe the dragons were a thing, and we just either wiped them out, or they were like, I mean, if they're the intelligent things that stories tell us, maybe they're just like, all right, screw these humans, and they just left.
My thing is this. If they don't hide dinosaurs existing, why would they hide dragons?
Yeah, I thought of that.
Mhm.
Um, my thing is, maybe all the freaking dinosaurs, quote unquote, that we see, and that they're like they died millions of years ago, and all these dragons. Maybe dinosaurs didn't die off utterly, and these dragons are basically dinosaurs that kind of like survived, and we
Mm.
just wiped them out.
Well, how
Yep.
did they survive and we wiped them out? What do you mean by that?
I'm saying that they survived the apocalypse, the freaking the meteor, and they weren't the dinosaurs of old that were gigantic and everything. They were still pretty big for
Mhm.
lizards, but uh, we basically killed them all because there wasn't many as there wasn't many to kill.
Uh,
Like the buffalo, we wiped them out.
they're extinct, buffalo?
American buffalo is extinct. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's odd. Well, anyway, like okay, it would make sense that the dragons would survive because they have wings to fly above stuff, like floods.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying they were basically all um like pterodactyl type situations that evolved over the years or devolved or however you want to put it. A lot of time passed before since the meteor. But there the thing is, a lot of pictures also show dragons that are don't have wings and just on the ground and all that stuff.
Well, then
Like a
what's
lot of the Chinese dragons.
that? What's the difference between that and a dinosaur?
I don't know. That's
Okay,
the thing. Intelligence? I don't know. I don't
that's
know. Because a lot of the stories, even from China, are like the dragons are like like super intelligent, high beings.
really.
Yeah, and like a lot of the Chinese emperors and everything would say that they had dragon blood, and that's why they're emperors, and that's why their family is so powerful.
That's
Like
cool.
they're revered, and they're still revered,
What do you mean by revered?
like God. Like they're like
Oh, okay. Like cherished.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense why they would hide them, maybe.
I, like I said, I'm fairly certain we just killed them all. Like not we, but the people of the past. There wasn't many left, and they just wiped them out. So
Okay, but even so, why would they hide it? And why wouldn't there be fossils of it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe there just wasn't enough. Maybe
I,
some rich guy. Maybe some rich people have like super powerful old rich families have dinosaur bones in their freaking like storage, and they're like, whatever. I'm so rich, I don't care. I'm not
okay,
gonna show
you're
anybody.
talking about dragon bones or dinosaur bones?
Well, I'm in this sentence, I'm saying dragons and dinosaurs were maybe the same exact thing, and we
Okay,
just
got it.
stole them.
Okay. I'm just saying, I think they would have the highest chance of surviving anything because they can fly above. But I don't know, you know? I mean, I feel like they would exist, you know? But like, and that their stuff would be hidden, but I don't know the agenda behind hiding it. You know, that's my thing.
Yeah, I
Unless
don't know.
unless they have the same skeletal structure as a dinosaur, except their bones, their wings don't really have bones. So maybe half the dinosaurs or more are actually dragons.
Maybe, but here's the thing.
That would actually make
Like,
a huge epiphany of sense.
I would think that that they want to just control the narrative. Like we've heard of like giants. We've heard of giants. Giants are throughout history, and guess what? You say, "Oh yeah, giants were real." They were like, "Oh, you're crazy." But giants are like talked about throughout history.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of giants, so Smithsonian has been the more I research, the more I realize the Smithsonian has been hiding information on giants. You and I were watching something about that a while ago, and that was getting very intriguing. And everybody from everywhere is saying this. It's actually proven now that the Smithsonian Museum has been hiding evidence of dragons and I mean of giants and documents on them.
How's that been proven? And maybe they do have dragons as well.
So also the Andrew Dawson case. So you guys, for those of you that don't know, check out my Andrew Dawson coverage story and revealing story on Andrew Dawson. But so there's two videos I believe I did on him, I think. But anyway, so basically he was somebody who was just a normal vlogger that basically discovered a giant, okay, had a ton of footage of this, but then kept running into like cops and then claimed he was getting followed by cops. And then before you know it, he just stopped posting, which was unlike him if you look at years of his behavior. And basically, the next video he posted was like shifty eyed and was like, yeah, it was all fake. Yeah, yeah, and looking off to the side. And then yeah, sorry. And just seemed so not like him. And then out of nowhere, a month or so later, he posted a video being like, it wasn't fake. I'm telling the truth. They're after me. And then within a week of that video, he unalived himself. And then there's a whole obituary. So the reason I bring this up is because actually there's a podcast I listen to called Jumpers Jump, who's pretty popular. And I recently found out that Andrew Dawson's family, sister and wife, reached out to the host of Jumpers Jump and said, "Hey, there's a lot more to this story. We need to tell you." And we want to tell you. And basically, they haven't covered it yet because they want to make like an actual like documentary of this. So I'm eager to hear about that. Obviously, it's more than what they're reporting because he did nothing but explain that he's a very happy person. He would never unalive himself. And he even, if you follow his Facebook, he was like, he just bought a new car and he was like, he bought tickets to a concert and he was going to go with his wife on vacation. Like there was no indication of anything like that at all. So there is a lot going on. I thought this was a fake obituary for a number of reasons, which I cover in the video. Perhaps it's real. I don't know. I do feel that either unalived or alive, he wants the truth out, and his family is more than willing to give it. So I further information will be given to you guys as soon as I get it on this channel. So go ahead, Tom.
Why would they go to those two kids for to let this out? I mean, there are
All right.
bigger people than that.
Respect to those two quote unquote kids. I actually happen to like them, but go ahead. Keep going.
But yeah, but there are bigger channels than that. Why would they go to them?
Tommy's I happen to like the kids, but if you really need
No,
an
that's fine.
okay,
I'm
they're not
just
kids.
saying.
me, but like if you really need an answer on it, it's because their TikTok or whatever or short went the most viral on the topic. But go ahead.
I guess.
No, not
You,
I guess that was facts, and that's
you
how
would think that
why
if
that's
there's
the answer to
any,
your question.
no, I'm saying there's if there's information, if she has any information, like one source is unnecessary. You need, well, not enough. I mean, you should like make it a big thing. You should
Well,
show more.
honestly, then maybe we should, I don't know, maybe I'll reach out. The thing is, Jumpers Jump obviously has 1.25 million followers, and I think that's why they were reached out to.
Yeah, but as YouTube goes, that's not a lot.
To me, it is.
Of course. But I'm saying there are YouTube channels out there that pretty much do what we do, and they have millions and millions of followers.
What?
So yeah,
Like who?
with an M. I don't know, man. The freaking
With an M?
yeah, million.
Okay, so first of all, off topic for this podcast, we will pick this up after, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know who you're talking about.
So
I believe it could be the case, guys. So make sure to give us the thumbs up because we try to survive out here, spreading the truth. Okay. Subscribe so we could survive as well, and share so we could also survive. But go ahead, Tommy.
so yeah, like I said, why do it with just one source? Spread it around, let everybody know in one shot. That way, she doesn't, you know, oh man, I'm really tired today. Life is so hard, and all that nonsense that happens to these poor people.
Well, Jump is pretty popular. Everybody would know about that. But that's interesting. That's interesting. Also, guys, I want to share with you, and we'll get back to any of these topics in a second if you want. The truth. Speaking of reptiles, dragons, giants, let's get into reptilians for a second. Do you guys remember the girl on the plane, um, who went viral for saying someone ain't real, right? So, she, as some of you may or may not already know, has released a video basically saying, like, I'm so sorry. I'm now an advocate for mental health, yada, yada, yada. And I know I wasn't interested in an apology. You do not have to apologize to me. All I want to know is, what did you see? Well, I have an update. Supposedly, the real truth of that is she wasn't actually seen since that viral video. And the face scanning AI technology, that if you get a 6.5 or higher and it's most likely you, face scanned the girl in the new video, it was a 1, meaning it's not at all her at all. Also, like that is so intelligent that it'll catch you on any bad day or any whatever day, and it'll somehow know it's you no matter what. No, it did not register to be her at all. The IP address of that recent video that she put out is was located in Washington, D.C., within 2 blocks of the White House, where, no, of course she doesn't reside. I believe she's known to reside in the lower hemisphere of the US on the East Coast. I think it was like, I want to say Virginia. Okay, that's not lower, but something like that. South Carolina, something that's not Washington, D.C. at all. So this has been an uncovering story. I hope this news gets out way beyond this podcast, because if it's true, I would hate someone to be misrepresented the way she's being, as well as Andrew Dawson. But go ahead, Tommy.
Uh, wait, did she see? I don't understand. What does that have to do with? You said reptile people, whatever.
Oh, because people think that she saw a reptilian, or a shapeshifter, which is also pretty much known as a reptilian that can shape shift in and out of human to reptile.
I don't know. Like it's ridiculous. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Why? Why? Why make her disappear? That's just as dumb.
Yeah, I don't know if they're like making her disappear, but I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe they wanted her to say what this person in the new video that claims to be her is saying and she wouldn't. Or I don't know. You never know. But supposedly she's actually reported missing since. And of course, the media is gonna make it look however way you want and steer it into this agenda that into that whole mental health thing again. And hey, I love people being really kind to people that supposedly has mental health problems. I love that. So if that's your thing, great. And if you think you have one, great. But I don't like over diagnosing people. Like, say she actually really saw something, why make that into a thing? Why make that into, oh, problems? No. Just because you saw something and it's true doesn't mean it's a problem,
I
so
know. It's just, I feel like this government is way too overzealous.
demons industries that be fox
Okay, listen.
fox in a red hoodie.
First of all, I think they should just in the old school boot down the stairs, and that's that. It's like, oh, she tripped. Oh, instead they have to go through all
Yeah, but
this
that would
trouble.
be really obvious because they just Andrew Dawson things. You know what I'm
Would
saying?
they though? They could just make it out to be that she's a drunk.
I didn't buy that scenario. I drink all the time and I'm not doing that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you're not around a flight of stairs. You're sitting on a couch.
No, I'm saying like they tried to make it seem like, oh, she's drunk. That's why she saw a reptilian. Like, I drink here and there on weekends and I'm not seeing reptilian, thank God. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but there's also people that can't fly well and they take pills and then they mix said pills with uh alcohol and it just gets out of hand. So they
But
could
they're
have
not
just
seeing reptilians. And if anything, that would make you more chill. And then why would she post a thing being like mental health?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. They should have just clipped her with the car and left it at that.
Horrible. No, you just said why would anyone make her disappear? So now why are you saying that, you weird ass
Well,
fox?
no, but they made it a point to be like, oh, this person, she's gonna make a video and say this, but it's like not her. That's going out of your way. That's unnecessary. They could have just simply got done, made her disappear in the most accurate way. Be like, oh yeah, she was leaving a bar.
Because
She
that's too obvious at this point. There's too many stories that even you and I put out regarding whistleblowers or whatever, which is another reason our views are getting taken, that have been offed. So it would just be too obvious at this point. They have to make it so that person themselves are saying something, which is what they tried to do to Dawson. And then they
yeah, but
unalived him.
yeah, but those are people that like knew a little bit of something or had some kind of influence. He had influence. She was literally a nobody.
Yeah, but
Literally a
she
nobody.
went viral though, which had everybody questioning everything.
Yeah, but that was months ago, and people have forgotten about that woman since. And
Not
now they're talking about her again.
no, they haven't.
I
And
mean,
they used
what's
it
her
to
name?
their advantage.
What's her name?
I don't remember that. That I had
Exactly.
it
Point made.
ever.
They could have just made her simply have a little accident, made it look like she's been drinking or doing something else,
No, I
and
wouldn't have bought
nobody
that
would have
at
thought
all.
otherwise.
Nobody would have bought that, and they know that.
I feel like I would have bought that.
Well, they love you. They love you, Fox. With
I'm a fox. Who doesn't love me? Look at this. Look at this. What I can do with my nose.
gingerbread men.
Look at that nose. What freaking adorable.
Yeah, you gingerbread man fucking killer. That was my best friend growing up. You fool.
What? I don't know that story. I killed a gingerbread man.
The gingerbread man story.
I killed a lot of things. I'm a fox.
It was a humanized cookie humanoid that tried to get across water, and you told it that you were going to give it a ride, and it trusted you just like I would have. And it's my best friend, so why wouldn't it have? And it died.
It's the same story as a scorpion and a toad, okay? Now they made it gingerbread man and fox. Come on, people, get your face out of your butts.
Now? What do you mean now? I knew this when I was so little, which was so long ago.
Okay, yeah, but the scorpion and the toad is like very, very, very like
You know what? You're from a different Mandela affected universe because I don't know what the hell a scorpion and toad is. I know frog and toad,
I
friends.
know Foxdella.
I've never heard. I forgot you're from the Fox universe with the Fox Cinderella and the
So yeah, there's I don't know, man. I
scorpion.
whatever. So dragons are real.
Dragons. That's so fascinating. Amazing stories today. We have less than a minute. I will close. Don't worry. Fox in a red hoodie. So, yeah, wow, compelling story by Fox with a red hoodie. Thank you so much. Guys, enjoy your Halloween season. If you got anything at all out of this, there's a donation link in the description box. You have no idea how much it means to me. If anybody needs anything, there's a list of what I do in the description box. And please subscribe so you know if we're live next week. And hang with us, be a part of the family. And it's going to cut us off, so I might as well just do it ourselves. I love you guys. And Tommy, say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.